Unbearable grief, the tragic loss of Emily and its devastating impact on a family. Emily was a sweet and innocent little girl with a big heart. She loved playing with her dolls, coloring pictures, and reading storybooks. She had a contagious smile and a bubbly personality that could light up any room. Her parents doted on her and cherished every moment they spent with her. Emily's parents had struggled to conceive for years before they were blessed with their daughter. Her mother had suffered from a rare condition that made it difficult for her to carry a child to term, and she had suffered through multiple miscarriages before finally becoming pregnant with Emily. The pregnancy was difficult for Emily's mother, and she had to undergo a series of medical procedures to ensure the baby's safety. As the due date approached, the doctors grew increasingly concerned about the mother's health. Emily was a big baby, and the doctors feared that the delivery would be risky for both mother and child. On the day of Emily's birth, her mother went into labor, and the doctors struggled to deliver the baby safely. Emily's mother endured hours of excruciating pain, and her condition deteriorated rapidly. It was touch and go for a while, but in the end, the doctors were able to deliver the baby safely. However, Emily's mother had lost a lot of blood during the delivery and was in critical condition. She had to undergo emergency surgery to stop the bleeding, and the recovery was slow and painful. Emily's parents were overjoyed to have their daughter in their arms, but they were also deeply traumatized by the ordeal they had been through. 4 months after the delivery, Emily's mother was in and out of the hospital, battling infections and complications. Her health was fragile, and it was touch and go for a while. Emily's parents were overwhelmed with anxiety and fear, not knowing whether their daughter would grow up without a mother. But eventually, Emily's mother began to recover, and the family was able to take their little girl home. They were grateful for every moment they spent together and cherished their time as a family. Emily's birth had been a miracle, but it had also been a terrifying reminder of how fragile life could be. The family never forgot the struggle they had gone through to bring their daughter into the world and treasured every moment they had with her. Emily's first birthday was a special occasion for her parents. They had waited years to become parents, and after the difficult journey of bringing their daughter into the world, they wanted to make sure her first birthday was a celebration to remember. Emily's parents planned a big party, inviting all their family and friends to celebrate their daughter's milestone. They decorated the house with colorful balloons and streamers and had a special cake made just for Emily. It was a pink and white cake, decorated with little flowers and topped with a single candle. Emily's parents dressed her up in a beautiful pink dress and a matching headband, and they took countless photos to commemorate the occasion. Emily was a little overwhelmed by all the attention, but she seemed to enjoy being the center of everyone's attention. As the guests arrived, they brought presents for Emily, and the little girl was delighted to unwrap each one. She received all sorts of toys and books, and her parents couldn't help but smile as they watched their daughter explore each new gift. But the highlight of the party was when it was time for Emily to blow out the candle on her cake. Her parents helped her to make a wish, and then they all sang, "Happy Birthday," as Emily blew out the candle. She giggled as her parents cheered, and she dug into her cake with relish. It was a joyful occasion, and Emily's parents were grateful to be surrounded by so much love and support. They couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and gratitude as they watched their daughter grow and thrive. Emily's first birthday was a special reminder of the joy and wonder of parenthood, and her parents knew they would cherish the memories of that day forever. Emily's second birthday was quickly approaching, and her parents were determined to make it an unforgettable celebration. They decided to surprise her with a brand new bicycle, which they knew she had been asking for since she saw some children riding their bikes in the park. On the day of Emily's birthday, her parents left her at home with her babysitter while they went to the store to buy the bike. They were gone for only a short time, but it was long enough for a tragedy to occur. As Emily's parents were driving back home with the bike in tow, they received a frantic call from their babysitter. She had gone outside to check the mail, but when she returned to the house, she found it in flames. The fire had spread quickly, leaving the babysitter little time to react. She had tried to reach Emily, but the flames were too intense, and the smoke too thick. She was forced to call for help and wait outside for the firefighters to arrive. Emily's parents were in a state of shock as they raced back home, their hearts pounding with fear and anxiety. When they arrived at the house, they found firefighters battling the flames, but it was too late. Emily was gone. The loss of their beloved daughter was devastating for Emily's parents. They were overwhelmed with grief and guilt, knowing that they had left her alone for even a short time. They couldn't bear the thought that they would never be able to see her grow up, to celebrate her birthdays, or to watch her ride her new bike. After Emily's death, her parents were consumed by their grief and struggled to come to terms with the loss of their daughter. They found it difficult to do even the simplest things, like getting out of bed or eating meals. They couldn't bear the thought of going to work or socializing with others. They were consumed by a deep sense of loss and emptiness that they couldn't shake. As time went on, their grief only seemed to intensify. They withdrew from family and friends, preferring to be alone with their memories of Emily. They stopped going to work, and their finances began to suffer as a result. Bills went unpaid, and their home became cluttered with piles of unopened mail and unanswered phone messages. Their marriage also began to suffer. They blamed each other for Emily's death and couldn't find a way to connect with each other. They argued over trivial things and grew distant from one another. Their home became a battleground, with each parent retreating into their own corner and refusing to talk about their feelings. As the years passed, Emily's parents lost touch with the world outside their home. They stopped going to church, and they lost contact with all of their friends. They no longer celebrated holidays or birthdays. They rarely even left the house, preferring to stay inside with their memories of Emily. In the end, Emily's parents lost everything. They lost their jobs, their friends, and their sense of purpose. Their home became a mausoleum to their daughter's memory, frozen in time and untouched by the outside world. They never recovered from the loss of their beloved daughter. And their lives became a shadow of what they once were. It's important to remember that grief is a complex and individual process, and there is no right or wrong way to grieve. Here are some suggestions for more efficient ways that Emily's parents could have dealt with their grief. 1. Seek professional help. Emily's parents could have sought professional help from a therapist or counselor. A professional can provide guidance and support in dealing with grief and help to manage the intense emotions that come with the loss of a loved one. 2. Join a support group. Joining a support group for parents who have lost a child can be helpful in providing a sense of community and understanding. It can be comforting to connect with others who have gone through a similar experience and to share stories and memories. 3. Find ways to remember the loved one. Emily's parents could find ways to remember their daughter, such as creating a memorial, planting a tree or garden in her memory, or participating in a charity or fundraiser that supports a cause that Emily cared about. 4. Practice self-care. Grieving can take a significant toll on a person's emotional and physical well-being. Emily's parents could take care of themselves by engaging in activities that promote self-care, such as exercise, meditation, or journaling. To anyone who resonates with this story, please know that losing a loved one can be incredibly painful and difficult, but it is not the end of the world. It's important to take the time to grieve and to seek support from friends, family, or professionals. Remember that healing is a process that takes time, and there is no right or wrong way to go through it. Give yourself grace and compassion as you navigate your emotions and seek to find a way forward.